Hello and welcome to this edition of How to Be Dashing Indoors. In this edition, we'll cover about how to maintain a bald head by administering a scalp shave. But right before I do that, again, I'm biased because, of course, I am bald head, so we're going to talk more about that. But even for the gentlemen who are inside who have hair, I still want to speak to you guys about how to maintain your mane. So first of all, I just wanted to start with some products now. So for the ones who are the wave addicts or the ones who keep short hairstyles, you just want to make sure that you have a good pomade. It could be in grease form, or this particular one is just a natural styling pomade. More like a mixture between grease and cream. Just the consistency is different, just not as greasy as a basic grease would be. But so again, I want to speak more to the natural hair care guys, or the natural ones who are wearing their hair more natural now. So when you talk about your locks, you talk about your twists, a lot of times you don't want to clump up your hair with a lot of heavy products. So whatever product you're using, like this one is a called Nappy Styles Napping Quick Softener. So it's a leave-in conditioner. So this is something that you can use basically maybe every other day. If you use it daily, you want to make sure it's only used once a day and that you, again, are not using a lot. So I'm going to speak to the whole sponging efforts. So if you're one who's wearing it naturally, you don't get much cut off top, if any. You just want to make sure that you pick it out, all right, because you want to loosen those coils or the curls, the hair that you have coiled up with your sponge. Every so often, I would say maybe every other day, maybe every third day, if you're used to coiling it with the sponge, you want to make sure that it'll start, the curl will naturally begin to fall anyway. So about that second or third day, and you're ready to put more product on and make it look fresher, freshen it up. You want to take your pick and loosen it up. Well, you want to start with a softener. So get your softener, rub it throughout your strands towards your scalp, all right? Because healthy hair begins with a healthy scalp. So you want to make sure you get that conditioner down to your scalp to help nourish that hair that is growing out from. So disperse it all throughout the hair strands, throughout the scalp. Then you want to come with your pick, and you want to pick that loose as you can. Okay? Now you got the product in it, and so now you can use your sponge, and it'll coil up for you, and it'll stay in a good style. Now again, like I said, I wouldn't recommend any of your creams or whatever every day. I would say every other day. But in the meantime, in those other days, you can use something as simple as an oil and water mix. What I have is a mister, and what we call a mister, it's a type of spray bottle that mists out whatever liquid you have in. So you can use your mister, put the oil and water, any type of oil, as long as it is a skin oil or scalp oil you want to use, and you just shake it up, because it is an emulsion, meaning that the oil is just going to rise up to the top of the water. But you shake it up, get it mixed real good, and you spray it throughout that hair on a daily basis. This is what's going to give you your shine and give you your moisture for every day. But again, about that second or third day, when you're ready to do it all over again, you want to come back with your conditioner. Okay? So just to be clear, all right, first day, when you're starting fresh, you want to go with your softener, disperse in your hand, disperse it throughout strands in the scalp, pick it out, and then go and coil or sponge. Next day, you don't want to go back with this. You want to get your oil and water mix. If you just have a normal spray bottle, that's fine. Just as long, this again is your daily moisturizer. So use that daily. Your coil should still be standing from your sponge. Then about that second or third day, when you're ready to re-sponge, again, you want to go right back with that same procedure. soften, pick out, and then recoil. Okay? All right, cool. So we have talked to the people with hair. Now we want to speak to those like myself with no hair. Okay? So, again, I love the beautifully bald women. I love the bald and bold brothers who are, you know, conscious enough and are courageous enough to wear the bald head. But I just want to be able to introduce to you just a different system. You know, it's all about systems. So let me begin by giving my credentials. Again, my name is D. Horn, and I am a licensed registered barber, and I'm also a barber instructor. But even the more, I am a member here at Monument of Faith, and we are here. We know that we are mandated by God to serve His people, and the way we do it, again, we're doing it right now. We're serving you in the form of how to care for and how to give more attention to God's temple. All right, so it's not just about promoting good health for your mind and your spirit, but it's also about your body. Okay, so we want to start off. Now, for today, guess what? You probably didn't know about it, but I am going to give you free salsa lessons. Yeah, free salsa lessons. You didn't know that was going to come with it. Tutorial, did you? Okay, no, I lied. So not salsa lessons, but salsa lessons. What's salsa? I'm glad you asked. That is the system that we're going to be using today. Okay? So salsa stands for S, steaming the scalp. The O is for oiling it. The L is for the lather. The S is for the shave. And then finally, the A is for applying astringent and aftershave lotion. Salsa, not salsa. Salsa lesson, you'll have to see me on another tutorial. Okay? So, let's begin. All right, so first, we're going to start with our steam. All right, so the thing about steam or even heat, to be even more particular, heat is softens and swells. Cold constricts and tightens. Heat softens and swells. So, first we want to start off with the steaming. Now, there's different ways that you can heat your towel or steam your scalp. Okay. First way you can do that in the shower, where you have hot water. You can also fill your sink up with hot water, or you can run the hot water from the faucet and you can roll your towel up and plug it to the faucet and saturate that towel with hot water. All right, so, or you can do like I do. I have a towel warmer. It's basically a cabinet where I store or I heat my towels up. So I will run water through it, saturate the towel with water, and then I will sit it in the steamer, the warmer, and generally in about 30 minutes, it will be warm. Now, you're probably asking, why do I have it rolled up like that? Well, it's not just for comfort or just to fit it in the towel warmer, but it is more about capturing the heat and keeping it in, okay? Because I got to move this from the towel warmer to my scalp. So I don't want to lose any more heat, so I am going to bring this towel around my back of my head, okay? Now I'm going to unroll it. I have it. I'm going to wrap. I want to wrap it kind of tight because, again, I want to make sure that I keep all the heat in. Okay. There's some benefits to steaming, okay? When you're steaming the scalp, first of all, you are softening the hair, you're softening the scalp, and you're softening the skin. Why is that so important? Well, it's important because, again, the more you soften the hair, the more you moisturize the skin and the scalp, then the easier the shave is. The easier that hair comes off when you begin your shave, all right? Also, it stimulates the oil glands that are present in our skin and our scalp. Our skin naturally has oils that creates oil, or we call it sebum. All right, this is what gives us our shine. This is what gives our skin its luster. So again, the heat activates those oil glands. And what happens is when it activates it, it sends that oil that it produces to the surface of the scalp, all right? And so it moisturizes the scalp. Again, that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to moisturize. We're looking to soften. Because again, it's all about making this easy, or making this this shave as easy as possible, to remove that hair as easy as possible. Okay, so I've talked. My towel is still a little hot, moving to warm. So I can remove it now. All right. And the more coarse your hair is, then you might need more towel application. So if you need another one, you can just go right behind it and do another one to further soften your skin. All right, so that is the S. We steam the scalp. Now we want to go to the O, which is for oil. Now, this is a very important step that most, not only novice, not only people at home are missing, but we're talking about barbers who work in shops, who for the small number of barbers who still do shaves, they leave this out. And reason that oiling or pre-shave oil is so important is because, again, it's all about moisturizing. It's just another opportunity for you to moisturize your skin or your scalp, which is going to make, again, the shave easy. So I'm going to put about a dime size amount in my hand. And this particular oil has a great fragrance to it. This is from the Art of Shaving. It's a great product, and it is a pre-shave oil. Pre-shave meaning right before the shave. And I just want to make sure I cover the entire area that's going to be shaved. All right. I'm making sure that I rub it in that skin, or that scalp, so it can be evenly dispersed and absorbs in to soften those hairs in my skin, or moisturize those hairs and skin as much as possible. Again, it's all about easily removing that hair when the shave comes. Okay? All right, now that's the O. First of all, we have S for steam, O for oil. Now we're moving into the lather. All right, most of you people at home, whoever's shaving, most of you are using canned lather, and that's fine. Some of you are using gels, shaving gels that foam up, or even just shaving gels, period. Okay, but let's talk about the differences between lather and shaving gels. So shaving gels are clear, and this particular one that I'm using, Bump Off, you can buy this in any beauty outlet store. It has aloe. I generally always go for something that has for sensitive skin, or has natural essentials in it, which aloe is a natural, it's a plant. All right, so and we know it is good for skin, and it contains the vitamins that are necessary for nourishing our skin. So I use them both. Now, the gel is for my final shave, all right, or my final lather, or I call lather. But my first lather is going to be actual lather. So the lather that you have from your can, or lather that has like a soap or lathering effect. This particular one, Art of Shaving, again, I love Art of Shaving products. And this is similar. It looks like Noxzema. It has a consistency and a texture like Noxzema. And you even smell some of the Noxzema characteristics, like the menthol. But very small. This is actually eucalyptus, so that's what I'm smelling. And they come in a lot of different fragrances, about 7 to 8 different fragrances. And you can find, they even have a non-fragrance one. Okay, so this particular lather I like to use, you're going to go straight from your oil. We're not going to remove that oil, because again, we're trying to moisturize the scalp. We're going to go straight to our lather. So this particular lather, or the way I'm going to lather, I like to use a shaving brush. Now, that's because I'm doing it on myself. I used to love to use it on clients, but now there's not really a good way to disinfect this. So I'm no longer using it on clients. I just have my gloves on, and I apply the lather with my hand. Okay. But for this demonstration, I'm going to use the brush because it's just me. So I wet my brush, And I drop my brush all the way into the container of water that I have. Now this particular lather, and I can't speak for other ones, this one doesn't take a lot. I can take just enough on my finger and put it right in the brush. And now, see how much lather I'm getting? Now I'm going in circular or rotary movement, and it's counterclockwise. Why is that important? Because counterclockwise means I'm going in the opposite direction that my hair grows, all right, or my hair lays. So with that, I'm doing the physical action of lifting the hair. I know you're saying, but it's only stubble. Still, because I've softened the hair, I've been moisturizing it through the steam and the oil, all right, the hair is like in a vulnerable state right now. So I can manipulate it the way I want to. Look how much lather I got just from that fingers. And look at all that. I still have a lot left. Okay? So, I want to lather. Now, there are benefits to lathering as well. It softens the hair, all right? It cleanses the scalp and the skin, and that's why I like to use lather, because that's the opportunity for me to cleanse my scalp before I do this shaving procedure, all right? So, it cleanses the scalp and the skin. It softens the entire hair strand. Now, hair has 3 layers, okay? Now, when you're talking about steaming, I said earlier, steaming softens the hair, but it only softens one layer of the hair, the outside layer. Lathering, it softens the entire cuticle, or the entire strand of hair, excuse me. All right? So, that is the other benefit. And so we're going to go, just want to lather a little bit more. I know it's drying because I'm talking a little bit. And then the final benefit is that it creates a smooth surface for my razor to glide. All right, so I've lathered it, but I'm going to do a second lather. I'm going to use my gel, because personally, I like to see my blade. I like to see my scalp while I'm moving my blade, okay? So, but the lather still was essential because, again, I have an opportunity to cleanse my scalp. So, I'm going to come back with another towel to remove this lather. Again, what we said, keeping it closed until you're ready to open it over the scalp. I'm behind. I have the bottom of my towel right on my neck, right on the back of my neck. I keep this tight. All right. Is it hot? Absolutely. But my scalp loves it. One thing that steam does, what heat does, it relaxes you. That's why people go in the steam rooms. That's why they go in the saunas, because the steam, once you get, used to it, once you adapt to it, it's very relaxing. It's calming, all right? So this is the opportunity for you to calm yourself. I'll take it even further. I use essential oils in the water that I'm using. So when I prepare my towels, when I'm just getting them saturated, I'll fill up my sink with water and I'll put essential oils like lemon oil, tea tree oil, and then I'll immerse the towel in it, squeeze it out, pop it in my warmer, and now when it comes out, I'm smelling whatever I put in it, whether eucalyptic to wake me up, or lemon or lavender oils to calm me, and it just smells good. It's just very, it's either nice or it's invigorating. So depending on the purpose, I'll use an oil according to that. Okay, so you saw me use the shaving brush for the first lather. So you're going to see me use my hands directly with the shaving gel. Right? So now let's talk about what we're going to be shaving with. Right? Now that we've done, well, we're going to do our second lather. So I'll remove this. All right. So I'm going to try to make sure I remove all that lather. If not, it's okay. It's no big deal. So now I'm going to go with my gel. That's the gel that we're using. This is a clear gel. Again, this is a very standard gel, but it's good. I've used it for years. Very inexpensive. So I'm just going to rub this all over the area that's going to be shaved. Has a nice pleasant scent to it because again it's aloe. And again, I'm always looking for products that are for sensitive skin because I have different clients with different skin needs, and I want to make sure that I meet all those needs. So if I assume everyone has sensitive skin, then we're good money. All right. So that is my second lather, and now I'm going to go into the S shave. I was going to pick up I'm proud of my board. Matter of fact, I'm going to pick it up because I want you to see it. All right. So now we're at the S, and we're going to do the shave. Now, I'm going to sidestep for a minute because all that I've done up to this point, if your skin is too sensitive or scalp is too sensitive to use the razor or the straight blade razor or the safety razor, and you're one who uses either trimmers or a shaver, okay, then basically everything I've told you up to this point, the prepping will not be for you, okay? So these are the trimmers. I love this trimmer. It's made by Andes. I like it because it is a detachable blade trimmer, and you can it comes with an attachment shaver, okay? So this is, for guys who use the trimmer, and you get as close as you can with the trimmer, and then you can come behind that with your shaver, which is going to get even closer. All right, so it's a 2-in-1. I think I probably paid maybe $70 for this. So a very, very good investment. I had it for years, and I don't plan to get rid of it. If it stops, I'm going to go buy another one. Okay, so we've done our second lather. So what you would do, again, people who have to use the shavers and the electrical tools opposed to being able to use a manual razor, you would just, again, just go with or begin with your shave with your tool, but you will still end up using the final steps that we're going to talk about. And that's basically your grooming products or your reconditioners. Okay? So just hold tight. In the meantime, we're going to talk to the people who are going to do the shave with, this is a safety blade razor. I like Gillette. This actually is one, again, with all the heads, they pop off. This is like a 5-blade razor. You have to use your own judgment when it comes to choosing a razor. Some guys can only do 3-blade razors. So you have to go with kind of trial and error. Okay, when you're getting razor bumps and ingrown hairs, it may be because 5 blades is too many for you. You may have to back off to 3 blades. So that is something that you have to figure out as more experience as you go through choosing a correct blade. All right, so we're going to use safety blade razor. I like straight blade razors, but nowadays I'm a little older now. When it comes to my scalp, I just rather let my barber use it. Okay, but we'll use this for today. So we've lathered. Now we're about to do the shave. Now with the shaving, I'll bring my water container over. All right. So when you're shaving, you want to start at the crown, and you want to use firm strokes in the direction of the hair. Now, we're going to do 2 rounds of shaving, or what we call first time over, second time over. This is the first time over when you're getting the majority of the hair off. All right. So again, I'm going in the direction that my hair grows. And notice here I'm stopping short of my sideburn because I want to be able to blend that sideburn in, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You don't need your barber for that. All you need is this. All right. So, but I'm going to stop here and just do a hard line right here. Okay. So again, the reason why I'm going with the grain is because it's going to remove the hair. When I say with the grain, I mean with the direction that the hair grows. That is one directional stroke. There's 2 other ones. The other 2 calls for a closer shave, and those are called across the grain and against the grain. All right. So if you think about your hair, if it grows downward, across the grain is going across. Okay? Again, your hair is going downward, and you go against it, that's in the opposite direction that it grows. So the latter of the 2, against the grain, is going to be much close. It's going to be the closest. But again, you have to determine, is your skin good with that? All right, because a lot of times if you just start out going against the grain, and you wake up the next day and you Star Crunch. You know what Star Crunch is, right? Remember that, the cookie? Star Crunch, all them little crunches. Yeah, that's what the back of your neck is looking like, or some area of your scalp. Don't want to Star Crunch, all right? So just kind of ease into this thing. Start again first, going with the grain. All right. So I'm holding my ear down. I'm being careful. It's a safety blade, but still you can cut yourself. You can nick yourself. So notice every time I do about 2 or 3 strokes, I am shaking my razor. I'm putting it back in the water so it can release that hair, because I don't want to do so many strokes and the hairs get caked up in the razor blades. And now it's just harder for me to remove it. So as I move towards the back, you want to be mindful there are areas that are more sensitive than the interior of the head. Okay? You have what we call the neckline, the right side, and the left side. But then you also have what we call the nape, N-A-P-E. That's the area that where your skull ends and your neck begins. That's where you get your outline. That's where you get your outline or your taper at. Okay? Those are sensitive areas. So you want to make sure that your pressure is not the same in those areas as it's been throughout your scalp. You know, on our scalp, the hair is more coarse. But in those areas, you don't need to use that type of pressure, because you have what we call vellus hair, or that's a technical term for baby hair. We have that softer, downy hair in those areas. So you don't need to use a lot of pressure. All right? All you're doing is just removing that hair. And what you can do, you don't even have to go over those areas. You can stop short of that area and then just use your trimmers to lightly remove that hair in those areas. Okay? So it just depends on the day. Sometimes I use my trimmers, I go back, but if I don't want to pull out another tool, I'll just lightly, as I just described to you, I'll just lightly go over those areas so I can remove that hair, but not disturb the sensitivity in those areas. All right. So you have some areas, like I said, that are more sensitive, but you also have other areas in your head that are where the hair grows thicker. One area being what we call the occipital bone. That is where your head in the back, right? That's where it protrudes out. Right underneath, your hair always grows thicker. This is like on your face. Chin hair is thicker. It grows more coarse. It takes longer to remove that hair, or it takes longer to even it with the rest of the beard. So back here, you might have to stroke a little more firmer. You might have to use a little more pressure back there. All right. So because I'm not in my bathroom, I don't have another mirror to look at. I'm just feeling to see if I have removed everything on my hair. So notice, again, the first time shave is done all with the grain. All of my strokes are with the grain. Even when my hair changes direction, I have to go with the direction of the hair over the ear. So I'm going sideways. That's because I know my hair cuts back that way, right? On this side, it really doesn't. It goes straight down, right? I think that's it. I can kind of feel a little bit still remains back there. Okay. So, that is my shave. We talked about the sensitive areas. And so now I want to move this out of the way. Now, that was the first time over. The second time over, I'm basically going over areas that I think I missed. Okay. Now, you don't have to necessarily relather it. You know, if you just take your finger, dip it in water, it'll reliven or it'll reactivate the product that you put in, the lather or the shaving gel. Okay, you don't have to waste a lot of shaving gel and lather or shaving cream to go back over areas. Now, when I go back over the area, the second time over, I'm trying to get a closer shave, right? All right, so if I feel it, and I rub with the grain, so ooh, that's smooth, but if I go against it and I still feel some stubble, okay, guess what? I want a little closer shave. So I'm gonna go across the grain as I talked about. So again, going across the grain, I'm just gonna use water. And I can just go different directions. But again, on this side, my hair grows down, so I'm gonna go across the grain sideways. All right. And on the top, again, if I wanted it closer, my hair grows down on the top, so I go across. Me, myself, I don't like to go against the grain. I'd rather my barber do that when they're using a straight blade razor. But again, going across the grain is still going to give me a closer shave. All right. So I'm just feeling, I'm being extra groomy because first of all, I waited a little longer to shave this time because of this demonstration. And so I was really looking forward to shaving. So I'm definitely trying to get it nice and slick. In the back, it's definitely harder to try to go against the grain. So you're doing it yourself. Again, this is a DIY tutorial. So we're doing it ourselves. So I'm going across the grain. And I'm stopping short of the nape area. I'm stopping short of the neckline. Because again, I don't want to increase the possibility of me getting ingrown hairs or razor bumps. All right. Feels really good. I'm looking in my mirror as well. All right. Now, most of us who are bald-headed and have a beard, we like a transition. We don't like for it to be like this start and stop. Like you got this bald head and then a beard starts, hair starts. Okay, we want to transition. We want to transition into that hair growth. So you can do that with this razor. Okay, these are blades. So what you can do, you have to be really careful. Let's take a little practice. You see how mine's already blended a little bit? I haven't been doing that with my clippers. I could. You do it with your razor. You just lightly go across that hair. See? Instant blend. All right, you just got to know how far down to go, how far you want your blend to go, or where you want the transition to actually start. Okay? I go with more pressure right at the top, but then I take that line out, as we call it, and blend it in. Okay? Nice. Feeling good. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I made my stop line. All right, so now I'm going to lightly, very lightly, and you'll feel the blade cutting those hairs. So you want to be careful. You want to be overly careful. Okay? Look at that blend. That's not just because I'm a barber. That's just because I'm being careful. And I can show you, that's why I'm showing you. Because you don't have to be a barber to know how to do that. Okay? All right, so we have almost salsa. We've almost finished salsaing, if that's a word. We have steamed the scalp. We have applied pre-shave oil. We have lathered the scalp, and we just did our shave. So now we're in the final steps. The final step include applying astringent and aftershave. All right, so I need my other crowd to come back. The crowd that doesn't use the razor blade. The crowd that uses the electric trimmers or the electric shaver. You can come back now. After you've done your shave, we go into our product. So Astringent. This is an astringent. When we talk about astringents, we're basically talking about an alcohol-based product that helps to clean and recondition your skin. Some natural astringents are alcohol, witch hazel. Okay, this is a more chemically based astringent, meaning that it went through a process. It has a lot of natural essential ingredients in it, but again, it's not as natural as a witch hazel or an alcohol. So most people don't like to just use straight alcohol because it burns. A lot of people don't like to use witch hazel because it smells stale. All right, does the job, both do the job, but again, you get to a preference point with products. Right, you want to use something that is good to your nose, has a good fragrance, has a good texture, and gives you the results that you want. So again, this is another product, SkinX, that I was talking about earlier. SkinX has a shaving line, it has astringent, they have shaving gel, and they have aftershave lotion. So remember we talked about the A stands for applying astringent and aftershave lotion. So this is aftershave or post-shave lotion. Same thing, different terms. Okay, so this particular one, I can spray it in my hand, rub it into my scalp, which I prefer, or I can use a piece of cotton, a cotton pad, or a tissue. You want to use tissue that's not going to leave residual. All right, so you want to use something more in between paper towel and a cotton. So put this in my hand, spray it in my hand, and yeah, that feels good. Has a little burn to it because it does have an alcohol content to it, but without the alcohol content, then it's really not cleansing as it should. All right, with my clients, this is the time that I'm able to massage this product in. Or you can spray it directly, especially in the sensitive areas. Sensitive areas, I'll spray a cotton pad and I'll rub as you do at the end of your haircut when your barber puts the astringent along your perimeter where your outline is. All right, so I want to definitely make sure I get it good in that area.